So today I'm going to talk about artificial intelligence. It's going to be a warning message to the church about artificial intelligence. I've been watching technology. Well, actually, I've been working in technology since the mid-70s. I started in transistor electronics. I worked with tube electronics. I've worked with, then I moved eventually into digital electronics, and I got into computers and computer systems, and then I became a system administrator for a large room-sized computer system. Also a database administrator. I don't know if anybody knows what all that is. So with all that, I understand technology. So I understand where things are going, and as I was here last week, I talked about Mark of the Beast, or last April, when I talked about the Mark of the Beast and being a microchip, and so I'm going to touch a little bit on that today. So I understand the technology behind of everything that works. So I have no fear of it. I think it's kind of exciting the way it's working and all coming together, and to me, it all lines up with what's going on in the Bible. Because I think the Bible, Revelation, prepares us for what's to come. And Hosea 6:4 says, "My people perish for the lack of knowledge." Okay? So if you don't understand what's going on, you may or may not perish, So you need to understand what's going on. Not fear it, just to understand it. And so that's what I'm here to do, is give you some understanding of what's coming up. So let's start with this. And for those who don't believe, I think it's not going to be a good time for those non-believers, because I believe they're going to be facing tribulation. But for those who believe on the pre-tribulation rapture, we're going to be out of here for those. But the thing is, I believe also God gave us revelation for a reason. Not to think that we're going to be taken out of here or nothing, or whatever that case may be. But we need to prepare others. Okay, our brothers and sisters in Christ, they need to be prepared to understand what's going on, because, let me continue on, because I get on my rabbit's trails and I won't keep up with what's going on here. So this is an end-time breaking news from as a result of when I was here in April. This is something I need to add on, because new things are happening pretty rapidly, I would say. It's about the CBDC. Anybody remember what that is? Central Bank of Digital Currency? Okay, this is updated information about that. Now, as many countries around the world are now implementing the CBDC, there's 11 countries now that implemented a digital currency throughout the world. 11 countries are doing it now. Many others are following suit. Because remember, the Mark of the Beast is going to be a worldwide thing. And the only way a worldwide Mark of the Beast is going to work, you have to get rid of their currency. Their cash money has to go. They have to get rid of it before a Mark of the Beast will prevent people from buying and selling. So that process is ongoing now. We are in the middle of that process that's happening. So here, this article here says, global elites of the World Economic Forum do not want you to save money. What they want you to do is spend your money. Because as long as you're saving it, it's not going out into the economy. You can keep the economy moving. So what they want to do is put an expiration date on that money. Now, a lot of you may think this is something new. I spoke about this 20 years ago, but back then it was all cash money. What they want to do is stamp an expiration date on your money, so you couldn't take it home and put it in your pillowcase or put it in your purse and hide it under the bed or something like that. They were talking about this 20 years ago, but it was too expensive to do that, because then they'd have to recycle all the money system. But now with this digital currency stuff, it's easy just to program the computer and say, hey, after such and such date, if they don't move this money out of their banking system, it's going to expire. So that's what this here is. This is what the World Economic Forum is what they're talking about doing. Central banks are planning on CBDC currency to be implanted under their skin. Now they're getting serious about this. And what they're talking about here is a microchip implant. So what I want to show you here, I had this here last time I was here. Was everybody here last time I was here? Okay, when you saw my microchip? This is so everybody could see it. Now, the actual microchip, what they want to implant in people's hand, is right here. Got a little plastic bag. It's the size of a grain of rice. They're implanting it right in this soft area right here. That's where most of them are putting it. And now they can just wave their hands in front of doors, unlock doors. They can wave in front of their computer system, and they'll log them into the computer. And you can actually go into the break room. This one company called Tri-Square, Three Square Market, where you can go to the break room, wave your hand in front of the vending machine, and you can get a soda or a coffee or a sandwich. They're actually doing this. Right now, there's last I've seen, they figure 20,000 Swedish people has now had the microchip implanted in their hand. They're also using it for what they call a COVID passport. COVID passport. All they do is wave their hand in front of a scanner, and it says whether they've been vaccinated or not. So, interesting technology. As I said, I understand how this works, because I understand this antenna and the little computer chip in there. If anybody wants to know later on how that works, I can describe or give you in detail on how that transfers data back and forth to a computer system. So, according to Professor Richard Werner, that's a prominent German economist, says that the central bank plans to implant the central bank digital currency, the CBDC, in the form of a microchip under their skin. So when the Bible tells us it'll be in the right hand or in the forehead. So preparations are being made for that. The Antichrist, the spirit of the Antichrist is all through the world right now, and they're preparing for Revelation 13, 16 through 18, to where before you can buy or sell, you're going to have either a microchip, or last time when I talked about it, could be a tattoo, barcode, or it could be a QR code in today's technology. But a lot of documentation I'm reading now is what they're doing is their barcodes have been around since the 1974 when it was first introduced to the public. It's been around since then, but they're fading it out, and they want to replace it with microchips. So, I say don't take the mark or the name or the number of the Antichrist in or on the right hand, whatever the case may be. If it's a barcode, QR code, or even a microchip implant, don't accept it. If it's used for the purpose of buying and selling, don't accept it.